Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Tuesday, December the 18th. It is National Roast Suckling Pig Day today, which doesn't sound so good for the pig, does it? It's also Answer the Telephone Like Buddy the Elf Day. How did he answer the telephone?
Hi, it's Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to answer the phone that way. Also, today I've got a quote. Sydney J. Harris says, "When I hear somebody sigh, life is hard, I'm always tempted to ask, compared to what?" I like that. Think about the alternative. Life is hard. Imagine if you didn't even
True
have
story.
that. I do have a fun thing happening later in the program. We do this every Tuesday just because we haven't learned yet. We do Tuesdays with Charlie. Going to talk to her daddy. So, and then every week I have fun chatting with him, and then he usually says or does something where I go, oh boy, we shouldn't do this anymore. So it's a lot of fun, though. It's coming up. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Tuesday.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix.org.
Time now for Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? You ready for this one, Heidi?
I'm ready.
I'm watching to see if you're peeking onto my page. She's just been really good lately.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, tell me, is it a golf course or is it a rehab center? Where am I at here? The Fortress in Frankenmuth, Michigan.
I would hope
The
that's a
Fortress.
golf course.
Is it a golf course or is it a rehab
I
center?
would really hope that's a golf course.
The
That'd be a
Fortress.
really bad name for a rehab center.
That is a golf course. Golf clap for Heidi. And for
I'm
you.
committing you to the Fortress.
Where you just got clean at the Fortress. Thanks for listening. This has been Is It a Golf Course or Is It a Rehab Center? Brought to you by TimeForRehab.com. We're getting to the time of year where we start planning for holiday parties and other events that often include alcohol. I encourage you to have some alcohol-free options as well. And if you are drinking, be sure to have a designated driver. If you or someone you know has a problem with drugs or alcohol, there is help. TimeForRehab.com would love to connect you with someone who can be there for you or that loved one. If you feel like it's time to finally get the help you need, we're here for you. TimeForRehab.com. That's TimeForRehab.com. And this is Your Brain on Drugs. A Maine firefighter pled guilty to driving under the influence while working as a paramedic, sentenced now to 150-day suspension. Bangor, Maine, the Bangor Daily News, reported that 55-year-old James Perry was also ordered to pay a $500 fine during his sentencing. He was responding to a suspected drowning in Bath, Maine in September as a paramedic for Mid-Coast Hospital when police say they noticed signs of impairment. He was arrested. Court documents show his blood level was at .08. Police later determined there was no drowning. A spokesperson for the hospital said that he's no longer employed there, and the manager, the city manager, nor the attorney would respond to requests for comment.
That's unfortunate.
It is. Here's the sad thing. He was doing what he thought was right. He's like, man, I want to go and help somebody, but if he'd been drinking, he shouldn't have done that.
No.
But I know there are people who are firefighters, and there are people who are in this certain line of work where he was a paramedic in this particular capacity, that if they have a drink, they can't go do that. But there are also people who are saying, I want to help. So that's a tough thing. It's almost like if you're doing that for a living, you almost can't have a drink ever, or you need to just turn your radio off so you don't even know if something's going on.
Yep.
Tough stuff. Anyway, my heart goes out to them. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, Bruce Springsteen is in the news because of his final Broadway show Saturday night. Guess how much the tickets were going for?
Oh, gosh, I have no idea.
There were tickets that sold for as much as $40,000.
Are you kidding?
No.
People are stupid.
That is ridiculous. Now, I like Bruce Springsteen as much as the next person, but $40,000 for a ticket?
Gosh.
No way. No way. I mean, just no way. All right, film critics say that Aquaman has swam past so many of the other movies. He's done really, really well. And they're saying that the most stunning special effects on screen since Avatar. So that's what people are super excited about. I know there are just a lot of ladies that were excited to see that young man.
I don't get him.
I don't know if
I
he's
don't
naked,
get
but
that.
he's wet and,
He's not my cup of tea.
Well,
I don't know.
thank goodness, because I look at me and I look at him and there's just no resemblance. He's handsome and fit, and I am, I
just don't see it.
I've got a face for radio, we'll put it that way, and a body to match.
I
So,
just don't see it.
anyway, there's a lot of folks
interested
that are
in.
pretty excited about Aquaman, and the special
Well,
effects are
that's
spectacular. This has been today's Big Screen, Little Screen.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Now your scoop of the day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. NASA's new Mars lander used its robotic arm to take a selfie on the red planet now. So this happened last week. A little selfie stick popped out and snapped a photo of the Mars lander, what do they call it? The Mars lander. I just cannot see our generation, like an older generation, devising a plan like that where they're like, oh, first thing we do when we get to Mars, we got to take a selfie. So, there's some younger scientists working on this. They're like, what is this for? To take a photo of the planet? No, to take a photo of the rover on the planet. Why are we adding this feature again? How old are you? Anyway, study by the Transportation Safety Administration, that's the TSA, Heidi. They found that commercial airlines are facing a shortage of bomb-sniffing dogs. So they're trying to get more bomb-sniffing dogs. I think their bomb-sniffing dogs are going, I just want to be, a service animal, because they get to wear the cool vest and hang out. They don't have to sniff no bombs. Mm-hmm. Did you hear that Delta is banning therapy animals on long flights now? So that's...
Really?
Also, yeah, so they're saying, no, sorry, you're going to have to fly with somebody else because it's causing issues for other passengers. So they're like, we got to look out for everybody, not just for you. So it's interesting. There's people that are freaking out about that. A New Zealand study claims that James Bond was an alcoholic because of the amount of drinking that he did in each movie. Researchers determined somebody had to do this.
Oh, my gosh.
This is their job,
This
Heidi.
is a fictional...
Okay, but somebody had to sit down and watch all of these movies, and they determined that James Bond drank an average of 4.5 drinks per film, his highest being six martinis in Quantum of Solace. It sounds like I drank 6 martinis before the show, but I didn't.
Are not over a real life period of 2 hours.
No, I understand that.
So 4 drinks in the course of what,
however
a
many
month
days or however long the movie took
is too much? Because
Apparently.
if that's the case, then I am in trouble.
Bond. James Bond. He was 007. What was the guy earlier? He was .08. Maybe James Bond is .008. I don't know. I've never, and I shouldn't even admit this because there's going to be some haters going to hate on this, but I've never been a James Bond fan. And it's not that
some of them.
Here's the thing. It's not that I didn't like them. I just never got into it. So there's a bunch
Yeah.
of them. I've only seen parts of some of the movies. And there's so many of them now that I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to commit to watching this because then I'll like them and I'll have to watch all of them. So
I only
again,
really watched the Sean Connery ones way back in the day.
who do I give this to? This is my man card. have to hand that
You
in.
hadn't even seen The Godfather until
I
we
know.
got together.
I'm pretty sure
I was
I
like,
have
yeah, you have to watch
I have to
The
hand that
Godfather.
in to somebody at this point.
And
I'm
then you
pretty
didn't
sure.
even watch it. You fell asleep. I was
I
like, how do
watched
you fall
most of
asleep
it.
during The Godfather?
I fell asleep during a very, very, very loud rock concert, so trust me, I can fall asleep anywhere. One last story to get to. 14 Disney bus passengers suffered minor injuries after a rear-end accident at a bus or at a toll booth with another bus. So 2 Disney buses crashed into each other. The bus driver has been suspended for 6 months. The crazy part is, after the 2 buses collided and all the passengers had to get out and stand on the street, there was a couple on one bus who recognized a couple on another bus that they hadn't seen in 30 years.
Oh, cool.
We had something like that happen. We were on
yeah.
vacation, and we're not on vacation, but we were just visiting some friends for the weekend, and we were about 3 hours from home. And while we were there, our former neighbors who used to live next door to us, we hadn't seen them in like 10 years. They walked past. We're like, hey, Jerry, Linda, how you guys doing?
Yeah,
Look,
that was
what
crazy.
are you doing here? So we all just happened to be in the same town at the same place on the same corner. I thought that was pretty darn cool. So that same thing happened. when these guys crashed into each other with the Disney buses. So there you go. Interesting stuff. Thanks for listening. This has been today's Scoop of the Day, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
Are you trying to find the perfect gift for someone with a good sense of humor? FunkyMonkeyShirts.com has a good selection of funny t-shirts and more. Some with Christmas themes. One that even replaces the ugly Christmas sweater for your next party. Find some silly shirts at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Also, learn how you can sell your own designs to make some extra Christmas cash. There's a link at the bottom of the page at FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. That's FunkyMonkeyShirts.com.
And it's time right now for my favorite program, something we do every Tuesday just because we can. We pick up the phone and we call my father-in-law for a little thing we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
It's Tuesdays with Charlie on the John and Heidi Show.
Hey, Charlie, how you doing?
I'm doing absolutely perfect.
All right. That's good. You can't get much better than perfect.
Weather like this, you got to be doing good.
There you go. Well, what kind of cool stuff are we going to learn about?
Well, let's see here. Okay, in the first quarter of 2014, the mobile game Candy Crush, you ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah.
Your daughter here is a big fan of that game.
I've never seen it, played it, don't know nothing about
Oh,
it.
you don't want to because it's addicting.
She's a master at that game.
Well, it made 94% more money than all Nintendo games combined.
Oh, wow.
I could see that.
So how do they make money, Heidi? Does it cost you money to play that game?
There are advertisers that pop up, and on the online app you can, well, on all of them, you can buy, like if you don't win your level, you can buy extra things to be able to win a level. I don't do that, but a lot of people do because sometimes I'm on a level for like months and I can't pass it. So I can see why some people are tempted to drop some bucks on it.
Yeah, just spend $5 and skip this one. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it, Charlie?
Not to me, it doesn't, no.
No.
Hey, then, up until the early 90s, appliances sold in Britain was not required to have a plug on them.
Really? So you'd like just wire it to the house?
Well, if you purchased a toaster, you were expected to buy a plug and wire it in.
That's not very convenient.
Well, I wouldn't think so.
I think there are still some stoves and things that come that way, aren't there?
Not to my knowledge.
I was thinking that we bought something not too long ago that we needed
I think
to
we
put.
bought it on, like...
We bought a used one?
Yeah, we bought a used one that they had wired in.
There we go. That's probably what it was. I'm a hillbilly, Charlie.
Comes out. Oh, okay. Now, you got to be careful of this, because if you're ever around somebody, it says, when a person dies, hearing is the last sense to go.
Really?
Oh.
So you're sitting there and some poor guy dies, you're wondering, well, that dumb...
It's about time.
I was wondering when he was going to go. How did they know that's the last sense to go?
Exactly. How would they know that?
I'm not sure how they would know. It's not like they could do a survey with the guy afterwards. So what was the thing that you remember right before you died? I remember hearing Charlie call me a whole lot of terrible things.
You should hear what I had to call you after you're dead. Hey, then we got one last thing here for you.
All right, what do you have?
In UX Bridge, Massachusetts, whatever that is, some town in Massachusetts,
Yeah.
the local police department has requested that people stop pooping on trains from overpasses.
Pooping on trains?
From overpasses.
What in the world? You shouldn't have to ask for that, should you?
No, they don't want you to do that.
But I mean, they shouldn't even have to tell you not to. You should just know you don't do that.
Well, why? I think it'd be neat.
Charlie has a new hobby.
You're the conductor of the train, you're watching these butts hanging there, you go, oh no, look what's coming.
Oh, no. Guess what's on the way? Get out the hoses.
I think it'd be neat.
Do not try that at home. That would be a bad idea. Can you imagine getting arrested for that? So what are you in for? I was pooping on trains.
There you go. Logging. We call it logging.
Logging on trains. Well, are you ready for a question from us, Charlie?
You got one?
I actually have one, yes.
Okay, let's see what we can do.
What would you call a flock of crows?
A flock of crows.
Instead of a flock, there's a different word they use to name them.
I actually knew this one.
A bunch of dirty birds.
It is a murder of crows.
Yeah, a flock of crows is a murder.
A murder.
Yeah.
A murder of crows.
Taylor and I actually just talked about this the other day.
Why?
I don't know. She said, isn't a flock of crows called a murder? And I said, yep.
But a flock
But
of
I don't know
seagulls
why it
is a
came
band
up.
from the 80s.
Well, that comes up every day in the conversation.
It did here. So
Well, Charlie, it's always a pleasure to chat with you.
Well, I'd call it more of an experience.
It is. It is a pleasure and an experience, and we should do this more often.
We should do it probably at least once a week.
Okay, we'll stick with the once a week.
Good.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie. We'll talk to you again next week.
Okay.
Bye, Daddy.
Bye, Fluff. Bye, John.
Bye-bye. My father-in-law right there. We talk to him every Tuesday just because we can. It's a little program we like to call
Tuesdays with Charlie.
John and Heidi.
If you want to grow your business, you can add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers or a combination of both. There's no other way to grow your business. Just those two. Add more customers or sell more stuff to your current customers. And if you already have a relationship with your customers and you have their email address, you can reach out to them with special offers to easily grow your sales, and you'll make your customers even happier. Let the experts at Constant Contact help. Get a free trial now. Text Radio Trial to number 22828. That's Radio Trial, all one word, to number 22828.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There is a town in America with a population of 1. Manoa, Nebraska. M-O-N-O-W-I. Manoe, maybe. Manoe, Nebraska. It is the only town in the United States with an official population of 1. And that one person is a young lady that she owes herself taxes.
And she's a mayor.
She is. She's
sheriff.
In her 80s now. She is employed as the village's mayor, librarian, and bartender. So, does she serve herself drinks, or can people visit? I wonder. We'll have to see. That would be kind of fun to go visit. Manoe, Nebraska. I'm going to Google that to see where that is. M-O-N-O-W-I. Manoe, Nebraska. Population 1. It's today's fun fact.
FreshPatch.com is making dogs like me happy. They send out real grass pads for us to use indoors. Now when it's cold outside, I can go inside. And when I've used up the real grass patch, the mailman brings me a new Fresh Patch. It's the best idea since doggy treats. Convince your mommy to try it today. I suggest you try Puppy Dog Eyes. FreshPatch.com. Use promo code RADIO to save 10%. That's FreshPatch.com. Promo code RADIO.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, and the word today is hogsnorton. Hogsnorton.
Hogsnorton.
H-O-G-S-N-O-R-T-O-N. Hogsnorton. Any clownish fellow unacquainted with the rule of good society. Hogsnorton.
You're such a Hogsnorton.
Yeah, I think that would be me, because I don't know that I am acquainted with rules of good society. I never know which fork to use when. So I use them both. I put one fork in each hand, and I just, double fist the salad. Then I double fist the dessert.
You uncultured swine.
I'm quite the hog snorton. Hog snorton? No, hogs Norton. I want to make sure we get that one right. I think I'll use that, actually. I like that. Hog snorton. Today's grandiloquent word.
Want to honor a veteran? Consider giving to Veterans Tickets Foundation, a national nonprofit who supports our currently serving military, veterans, and family members of those we've lost in action by providing them with free tickets to sporting events, concerts, performing arts, and family activities. VetTix is dedicated to giving back to those who gave us so much. Learn how you can help at vettix.org. VetTix, TIX.org.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. A Virginia man has pled guilty to posing as a doctor and treating patients. Wow. The Virginia Pilot reports 31-year-old Vishal Patel admitted to providing false information in a Drug Enforcement Administration record. Aggravated identity theft is what they call this. Court documents say he obtained a job at Stony Brook Physicians with the help of fake diplomas and fake educational certificates and a state license. Employed there, it says while employed at the Newport News Clinic, they say that he saw about 24 patients. He ordered examinations and prescribed meds. He was let go and the clinic employees were unable to verify his credentials. While posing as a licensed physician, he contacted DEA employees in 2017 and requested a Social Security number connected to a real doctor's license be altered to his own. Also submitted forged documents. He is expected to be sentenced in March. So that is crazy. So he was pretending to be a doctor, prescribing stuff. I mean, that is just. But if he knew how to do it all, dude, just get the degree and do it. I mean, that's crazy. That's today's weird news.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. Police say they arrested a porch thief. Some call these porch pirates, but the real pirates don't like that. So this porch thief They caught him Sunday after video showed him stealing a half-gallon of urine,
What?
some gym shorts, and a 27-pound bag of dog food. Well,
Okay.
if you're gonna go to jail, make it worthwhile, right? What in the world? 27-year-old Andrew Felix of Miami Township was captured by Green Township Police, and it says they took him into the police station. According to a Facebook post, the people who owned the place said they'd been waiting for the urine testing kits to see if they could be a match for their cousin who needs a kidney transplant. So that's why there was a jar of urine on the porch. Police
Why
say
would somebody
Felix
have wanted it?
also stole $200 worth of women's clothing from another porch. Well, I think he probably stole it thinking, oh, hey, what is this, apple juice? Or,
I sure hope he tried it.
Don't know what he thought it was, but
Man.
certainly got put on the list of today's moment of duh.
Every day, approximately 23 U.S. military veterans take their own lives. Big Paws Canine Foundation is helping to decrease that number, providing service and companion dogs to our disabled veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Partnering a hero with a specifically trained dog significantly reduces the incidence of suicide, and your support makes all the difference. Find out how you can help our American heroes. Join the pack at BigPawsCanine.com.
Time now for fake news or Florida. Heidi, tell me, is this a true story that happened in the great state of Florida, or is it fake news, flubbery, just a bunch of fluff made up to fool you? You ready?
I am ready.
All right. Fake news or Florida? A Fort Myers man charged with indecent exposure after getting naked during a photo with a mall Santa. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
And the answer is fake news. Correct. Good job, Heidi.
Thank you.
You're getting so good
Thank
at this. You can play along at home by answering out loud and letting people know how smart you are. Or you can contribute if you find a fun story from the great state of Florida. Or if you're really good and devious and want to make up fake stuff like this, you can submit all of that in our site, johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. We just recently started working with this, and it is so bizarre. There are some things. I don't understand why some of these things are even gifts. I had a list here somewhere. I don't know where I put it now. But I had a list of the things that I found on there. There's some bizarre, very bizarre things. So let's take a look here at our good news. Santa is FaceTiming kids in the hospital so he can surprise them from the North Pole. How cool is this? Hospitalized children are getting a healthy dose of holiday cheer thanks to a sweet little intensive care from Santa's Workshop. It says here, the Nermer's Children's Healthcare System, they're utilizing today's technology from Care Connect to allow hospitalized children to have a little face-to-face conversation with Santa.
Aww.
He's speaking to them from the North Pole. I think that's really neat.
That is adorable. I love it.
The kids in Orlando and in Delaware will be able to share their Christmas wishes and interact with Santa and the elves, who will be helping manage the video conference. The elves will be there in person. Santa will not. Being hospitalized this time of year can leave kids feeling left out of the holiday season. But with this virtual visit to the North Pole, the kids get to have a fun and special experience. That's according to the Operational Vice President. That is quite a title.
That's
the
awesome.
Operational Vice President of Nermer's Care Connect and Center for the Health Delivery Innovation. Anyway, so I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it, and there's some video on here of the kids and of Santa at the North Pole. I think it's really just cute. It's pretty darn cool. So if you'd like to check it out, it's in the show notes page, or it's in the show notes, rather, on the page, johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. We appreciate you listening to the John and Heidi Show. Oh, by the way, Heidi, we had a request online. They said that we should be on the radio an extra hour or two. So, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
We've been getting so
It's
many
very
messages.
sweet, but
so many messages
I'm
lately.
checking out.
I just want to say thank you to the people who have done that, because we've got this little Facebook page set up. We're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram, we're on You know, we got a website, all of that stuff. But we've been getting messages from all of those different places from different people. I just want to say thank you. That really means a lot to us that you
that's
actually
awesome.
care enough to not only listen to the program, but to reach out and say hi and stuff. So hi right back to you. And everybody that reaches out, we send a message back to you as well. It was just really cool to get that one saying, I wish you were on for another hour or two. Well, Heidi doesn't. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.